Today we're out on a trail near Larkspur, Colorado, and we're finishing up our field test of this Spot X Bluetooth. So let me show you everything it has and what I found out about it and if this is the right satellite messenger for you. Let's talk about my new Spot X with Bluetooth. First off here, the Garmin inReach Mini on the left hand side is my go-to satellite messenger. It is a very compact messenger, and when you sync it with your phone, you can get maps on your phone, and it's super easy to message people because it's just like texting. So I really like that part about it, and it has its global service, pole to pole. It's just all my experience with it after testing it. I love that device. It's really nice. This Spot X with Bluetooth right here. This is, you can see it's a good twice the size as the Garmin inReach Mini. I already have a Spot X, which I've done some reviews on. I can post a link for that below, and of course I'll have links to this one too. And again, this has a built-in keyboard right here. Makes it really easy to message people. You also have the unique U.S. cell phone number, and so you can text anybody anywhere in the world with this device. So that's one real nice thing about it. But having so when you sync it, being able to message people is, again, it's just like texting. It's real easy. So it's easier to use this device texting if you're just using this as a standalone device. It's easier to message on this than on the Garmin inReach Mini and the Garmin Explorer Plus, because on those you have to arrow around with the keypad and pick numbers, and it just takes a little bit more time. But when you sync those to your phone, the Garmin's, then it's just as easy as you text. The Spot X Bluetooth, again, it's easier to text as a standalone, but when you sync it to your phone, just like the Garmin inReach Mini and the Garmin Explorer Plus. All right, so I'm going to turn this on. One of the things I complain about a little bit with the Spot devices is sometimes it's a little challenging to turn this on and off. But of course, that proved me wrong right there. It's actually easy. My other device, for some reason, it's a little bit harder to turn on and off. This one, it was real easy. You can see there's a lot of different options. This first one is a message. You can create messages here. You've got your contacts is next, right there. You can check in, and you get system settings, navigation, and what's this one here? Fetch new messages, and then track fetch intervals here. So I'm going to have to follow this message up back at the house because I made a mistake when I came out here, and I did not sync my cell phone with this Spot X Bluetooth before I came here. As you can see, this is the same size as the old Spot X. It just has Bluetooth. It's just as thin, actually, maybe slightly thinner than the Garmin inReach Mini, but it's a lot bigger. It has the antennas here. Well, of course, the SOS function. I'll just show you a few other things here. The SOS function is here. You have to flip this SOS open, and then you can see that red button. It means don't hit me unless you're in trouble. So you have to hold that down for about 3 seconds, and then search and rescue will be alerted to the SOS. What's nice about this, because it's a two-way messenger, they can actually message you and find out if it was a false alarm, number two, what your emergency is, where you're at. You can get a little more information, so it's really nice to have. Over here, there's just tracking. There's a little foot mark here. You can hit that to set your tracking. This reverse arrow here is to get you back out of the menu. You actually select the menu items here by this keypad. But when you have it synced, then you can do a lot of things on your phone. So there's some of the basics about it. It's real nice. It comes with the hook, has a strap on the back. You can hook it onto your belt or your backpack real easily, and it's a real nice device. I really like it a lot. I have to admit, it's not my #1 device, but it is great. Let me just say this: it's not my #1 device for different reasons, and they're personal reasons. And this device is perfect for, and can be a #1 device for a lot of people. And there's others, like I've got a Spot Gen 3 that's only one-way messaging, and it's inexpensive, and it's easy to pack around. It's very small. It's actually probably smaller than my Garmin inReach Mini. But there's a device for everybody. So when I say don't go sideways on me here with this going, well, this isn't the number one device. It's a great device. It's just personally not my number one device. First thing I want to tell you is I spent some time with Spot this morning with customer service and with the technical support. And I guess I was under the impression when I bought this Bluetooth, because I already had the Spot X prior to this, that this Bluetooth would allow me to see the see maps on my cell phone when it's synced to this Spot with Spot X. I was wrong. And so after talking with technical support, I found out that there are some third-party apps you can use if you download. If you put in your waypoints coordinates ahead of time and you download them to another app, sometimes you can get those services outside of cellular service, but it's not that trustworthy, because I've used different third-party apps several times, and when you're out here in the Rocky Mountains outside of cell service, you just lose service. You cannot get some of these apps to work. Say, example, All Trails app, which I use. I have the Pro app, the Pro version, and you download your apps ahead of time and you go out in the middle of the mountains, and when you're out there, all of a sudden you're trying to access your maps again, and it will not find it. I've had it happen multiple times, so it's not reliable. You can't trust it. So that's one negative thing that I found out. And so for anybody who's thinking that you can use maps with the Spot X, call tech support with Spot and just verify it, but I found out you cannot use it. One thing to remember, they suggest that you keep this antenna pointing skyward to get the best service when you're using your Spot X. So there's navigation right here. If you click on the navigation, it'll ask you if you want to do the compass or waypoints. So if you click on compass, what it's asking here is that if you want to calibrate it. So we're going to hit calibrate. It says you have to twist it around and to calibrate it. So I did. It says accept. It was successful. And right here you can see there's a compass. And then you can change it to distance and direction. So there's different ways to actually navigate with this. However, you don't have a map, so you better carry a map with you, a physical map, or you should have a different device, electronic device that shows the maps, contours, because just saying that your destination is 2 miles away and north is helpful, but if you've got a river, a ravine, a mountain in the way, you still got issues, right? So you want to make sure you have the ability to see the terrain around you, the contours, rivers, mountains, landmarks, things like that, to help you navigate better. I want to let all of you know that my reviews, they are not to always be positive about every satellite messenger I test. I want to give you my perspective and my opinion on something, and everybody's different. We all have different things that are important to us when we're out in the outdoors. For me, I want a map, and I don't want to carry a physical map. However, carrying a physical map is important. You really should, because if you lose access or your battery goes down on your Spot X or your phone, if you're synced to it, you really should have a physical map if you want to find your way out of an area if you're lost. The bottom line with the Spot X, it is a great device. I love the unique US cell phone number, because you can message anybody and they can message you just like you would if you had a smartphone. That's great. Having the built-in keypad here is awesome. It makes it a lot easier to type in a unique message. Those are my two favorite things about the Spot X. What I don't like is it's, to me, from my testing of the Garmin products with this, the Garmin's actually message faster than the Spot devices. The other thing, the most critical thing, is not having a map. I used to think that a map wouldn't be that big of a deal, or say maybe even two-way messaging. and this is a two-way messenger. But the maps are important. They're extremely important to me. It makes it much easier when you're out in the mountains to navigate, to see where you're at. Sometimes there's multiple trails, and it's extremely helpful. So being that SpotX does not have the map, this will not be my go-to device. And it is a great device, and it's perfect for some people, but not for me. I will keep the SpotX around to do comparison reviews with other products. Sorry, Spot, but this really is going to end up collecting dust on my shelf, and maybe be for friends or family that come up and they want a messenger to be able to go into the mountains and be able to hit that SOS if they need to, or if they want to message family or friends up in the mountains. Thanks for joining me on this SpotX field test here in the Rocky Mountains of Colorado.